can't sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plan. Look at your stands and look at your hand. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. EA. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the London Monarchs. I'll have scores.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll leave this for Ware. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. So, wow. I mean, that'll quiet this crowd, right? A big one there on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah, you have to be thinking, we're at home for the playoffs. That had to be a splash of cold water right in their face, don't you think?
Yeah, they got to be thinking, we're going to have to work on this and do so in a hurry. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And what a sophomore season he had for the Cardinals. Pretty much swept every major quarterback award, including the Heisman Trophy. And we spend a lot of time talking about his legs. Formidable. He can run the ball like few others. But the key to everything for him is his ability to be accurate from the pocket.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
To throw again, Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. A very solid gain of 27. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Leopard! Leopard! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
And on the ground they go with a running back. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. A 21-yard touchdown run. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's a toss coming right, and he'll get in, and they take an 8-7 lead. Well, they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that for a little risk-reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's go!
They'll set up to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at about the 14. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. David Njoku, 55 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. So much for a little 5-yard pass play to your tight end. They made him a deep ball threat there, and it worked out.
Times have changed, haven't they? Those used to be plays that we would clip and save because you didn't see it very often. Big tight end, deep downfield catching a pass. Now it's almost standard. That's a big part of everyone's offense. Get it to those guys because they're not just tight ends anymore. They're athletes.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun now on third down. The big fella. And he will have a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
They'll run now with Ware. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And now back out comes the offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
Now it's Jackson. And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. Whoosh. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through it for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to throw deep. It's caught inside the 25. And touchdown. A big play there, 60 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's some there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down. Then they got to come up with something big here on third.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll run it here. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Fourth down, here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and this defense will take over right at midfield.
Here we go now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now back to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try to find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that. He's got a man complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. And what a big-time play there. 59 yards. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitz.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it's London football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Right back to him on first down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
No. Check. Patriot. Set. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Leopard. All right, now, lucky 56. Gun.
On third down, Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on fourth down?
Hey, we got four down.
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. And bulldozing his way through. So a change of possession here on the punt. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now it's Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this offense is running away with this one. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Here's a toss coming right. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
There's Anthony Miller as they trot back out to go on offense. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and they're not even at halftime.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Here's Jackson to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And Jackson throwing once more. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense continues to pour it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively. What they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Set! Blue 90!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run. And obviously, nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. And now running right through it. So possession goes over here on the punt. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Set. 319. 319.
Now Jackson to throw on third down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And this offense is running away with this one. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, Jackson. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36. A gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Set. 319.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They'll leave this for Ware. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
They'll look to set up his blockers. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. Now this offense ready to head back out there. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend.
Leopard! Leopard! Hey. Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to bust through the tackle, but not much to show for it. Still inside the 5. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Okay, just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll set up to throw, and that is incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
That's taken it around the 40. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw is Jackson. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. In for the score. And this offense continues to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's a toss coming right. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson being chased out left. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So it's on to halftime. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now back out comes the offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But what the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Jackson throwing on third and long. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. On second down, here's Jackson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there at 22. And they'll run it here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They get it to him running left. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And this offense is running away with this one.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Get his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
There's a toss coming right. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll look to throw. Completion left side to Miller. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen...
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Check 6 guard.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 56 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now, Barney. Barney. Hurry up. Here we go. Green 30.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs.
And sometimes pride wins, doesn't it? Because, yes, they're getting steamrolled here right now. They're down big, and they're going to try a fake field goal against them. Yeah, I'm not supposed to root for good.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And here now the offense heading back out there. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, it created a big run. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Jackson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been two ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Goes to Ware on the screen. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Here's a toss coming right. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Set. Green 39.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Well, this ball game, it certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game. I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Delayed game, offense.
And that'll that'll set them back 5.
Still third down. Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still third down. Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still third down. Delay of game, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still third down. Delay of game, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still third down.
So offense moving a little too slow there, could not get set, and they get the penalty. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. 4th down, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there. 56 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here's a toss coming right. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article was saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts coming out now. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A good return there, 17 yards. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 more there and another first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he will take it in for the touchdown. In for the score. And this offense is running away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack down.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Fighting through. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Monte Nicholson picks it, and the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Man, we see a lot of quarterbacks try and do this. They get out of the pocket, they get in trouble, and they try and force the ball into their star receiver to make a play, sometimes whether he's open or not. And I think this time, it was definitely an or not.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now this offense ready to head back out there. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's just...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. It's a big play there. 51 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. Jackson to throw again. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a third and short, 3rd and 1. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Jackson, and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
You're not going to want that feeling
no,
again.
you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He'll drop to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. David Irving breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Dumps that off to Ware. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And before this play happens, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 18. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. A very solid gain of 27. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for second down. And Jackson throwing once more. They'll roll him out right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2.
Over!
Here's a toss coming right. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. The 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure comes, and down he goes. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll set up a throw. And now here's another interception. He's picked off at his own 47. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say cheerio from London.
Thicker the pie, thicker the bag. Mean I'm a buyer, not leasing no beamer. I'm buying no gun, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for a doubt. She don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane hags for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. What we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, my. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. All in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line.
Right now, I got you. Right now.
Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now.
Got a whole lot of
Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now. Yeah, I'm two up, round blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up, brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to the booth up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now.
got a whole lot of
Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose.